My name's James Foster. My condition's it's quite a rare condition. It's called Friedreich's ataxia. It came on when I was about 15 years old. I was walking around with the aid of crutches, but about 6-7 years ago now, things started getting a little bit difficult for walking longer distances and just generally getting out on rougher ground and things like that. And I thought it'd be safer bet to use a chair, but trying to find a wheelchair that was up to like being used on rougher ground as well as had the practicality of being used every day around an office or around a shopping centre, or even indoors if necessary. The Trekinetic K2 was the only manual chair that I found that actually fitted the bill for every area of my life that I wanted to use it in. One of the big differences between a standard wheelchair and the Trekinetic chair is the realms of possibility as to where you can go and what you can do in it. A standard chair will get you out to certain places, it might take you out in the woods, but you wouldn't necessarily have the confidence to go there on your own. With a Trekinetic chair, it gives you that confidence, it inspires you to go off and visit more remote places, go on terrain that you wouldn't normally even think about going. One of the things that made me laugh when I first got the chair is going through the local park. You'd normally go along the tarmac, the pathway, and if someone was walking towards you, they'd have to walk on the grass around you to get out of your way. With the Trekinetic, it's the other way around now. You would go down the path and you'd go on the grass to get out of the way of someone walking towards you. One of the first questions people always ask me is about curbs. How do you get up and down curbs? Getting down curbs, same as any other chair, you just drop off them. Gas shock absorber on the back of the chair takes out most of the thumps and the bumps from there. Getting up curbs is a point you need to master yourself. Everyone's got their own different technique. Myself, standard curb, 3 or 4 inches, you just tip the chair back so the casters are way off the ground, just charge the curb. If you wanted to go up something slightly higher, 5, 6 and more inches, you can actually turn the chair backwards and back up to the curb. If you tip forward and raise the rear caster, you can roll up the curb that way. Given the size of it, it packs down to the size of the actual carbon fibre seat itself, which is very small. The rear wheel folds in flush with the back of the chair, the quick release for the main wheels that come off at the front, so it's very light to move, only 9 kilos because it's all carbon fibre. It will pack into the boot of any car. You're not limited to an adapted car to go out in the chair. You can literally put it into the boot of pretty much any car. Once it's assembled and you're sitting in it, it's very comfortable. You can sit in it all day, no problem. There's various cushions that you can get all cut to fit the chair, whether it be a foam gel or Roho cushion, whichever cushion you want. The other benefits of the chair is the actual footrest with the small casters on either side of the footrest. It's great if you ever drop something on the floor. You can, with a little bit of practice, actually lean forward. The whole chair will tip forward. However, the casters on the front, the chair shouldn't tip any further forward than the casters will allow it to. It takes a bit of getting used to, it takes a bit of practice, but you won't roll out of it once you've had that practice. It means you can touch the floor all the way around the front of the chair and pick anything up. Another benefit of the chair is the fact that you can reverse in it, and as fast as you like as well. With the rear caster there, you can just go and go and go. You're not going to you know, tip backwards if you hit any ruts or anything like that, because that rear caster will stop you tipping out backwards. The GTE version of the Trekinetic chair, again, is a major step forward when it comes to powered chairs. It itself comes apart just the same way as the K2 version does, so again will fit into the boot of pretty much any car. You don't need an adapted car to put the chair in, so you can, if you wanted to go out to the pub or to a restaurant, you can literally call a cab and it would fit into that cab, no problem. The only real difference between the K2 and the power chair is a small battery pack that clips underneath the actual seat itself. The actual motors for the power chair are actually in the wheels themselves, and that carries most of the weight. So once you've taken the wheels off, the chair again is only marginally heavier than a K2. Easy enough for someone to lift into a car themselves. With the GTE, the battery will last up to 5 hours on a 3-hour charge. That obviously depends on the weight of the user and the kind of terrain you're going up. But one of the brilliant things about the chair is that you can disengage the motors in the wheels. So if the battery was running low, someone was there to help you along, to give you a push, or you wanted to push yourself, you can disengage the motor and put the chair in free wheel mode. Using the Trekinetic chair has opened up a lot of doors to me. It's very, very different to, in where you can go and what you can do than a standard wheelchair. The chair travels well. I've travelled around Kenya, northern India. We spent a lot of time in the Lake District, doing a lot of walks along the Cumbria Way and things like that. Spent a lot of time in the New Forest as well. The versatility of the chair is amazing. You can go and do a great big long walk like that, and it's the same as a walker wiping the boots off. You just wipe your wheels off and you're straight in the pub for a nice well-earned pint after a long hike. Having used the Trekinetic for the last 6 years, it's made such a big difference to my life as to what I can do as opposed to what I can't do in a wheelchair. I'd really highly recommend it to anybody.